Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's live Zoo to You. My name is Katie. I'm an educator here at the Stone Zoo, and in just a minute, we are going to be joined by some of our friends that really love this cold weather that we're having today. Kira and Himal, our snow leopards that live here at Stone Zoo. So if you have any questions about them in the meantime, please feel free to ask in the comment section, and we will do our very best to answer them throughout our video. But let's see if we can get, while we're waiting for them to come out, a sneak peek at their enclosure here. So we have some special enrichment for this week, Thanksgiving week, here at the zoo. So we have a large banner that we've made. We are snow thankful for all of you that are watching and that come and visit our zoos. And this banner is all made out of approved enrichment items for our snow leopards. So our snow leopards can receive paper products, and they can also receive tempera paint. So we use a non-toxic and washable paint at the zoo, just like you might use for finger painting at home. And since it is non-toxic, it is safe for ingestion. A lot of our animals really like the taste and the smell of the paint itself, but we also have an extra special ingredient in there. If you'll notice, the word snow is nice and blue. Okay, and that is because there is actually some cinnamon mixed in that paint. So we used a different color just to kind of see if the snow leopards have any preference. A lot of times cats really love different scents, and cinnamon is one of those scents that they really like. We also have some shavings that other animals have urinated on to see if that is enticing at all to our snow leopards. So she is heading on over right to that cinnamon paint. Look at that, an enrichment success. So we might notice, and I believe this is Kira snow leopard. We'll confirm that with the zookeepers in just a moment. But you might notice cats, especially if you have domestic cats at home. Our big cats at the zoo do the same thing. It's called a Fleming's response. And that is when a cat will open up their mouth and kind of show that top row of teeth. They're really just soaking in as much of that smell as possible. So you might have a cat at home that does that, and our snow leopards will do that same Fleming's response as well. Yes, so she's interacting with our banner. And zookeeper Sandy, just to confirm, this is Kira snow leopard, correct? Okay, perfect. Yes. So we'll see, she's of course ignoring our banner that we made and interacting with other parts of her enclosure, which is just fine. Part of working with live animals is that they will do whatever they feel like doing, and just because we have made something, they don't know that we've spent a long time making something for them to enjoy. Sandy, what is your favorite part of working with the snow leopards?
Oh, I think they're just amazing together. We only see one on exhibit this morning, and the male didn't want to shift out, but he'll probably be out later. But to watch the interaction, this is a breeding pair, and this is breeding season. It's really interesting to see all their different behaviors.
And as we're approaching a very cold season here in New England, what are some things that you do as zookeepers to make the animals comfortable in the cold weather?
Well, a lot of times some of the animals have heated rocks on the exhibits. In the case of the snow leopards, they can take very, very cold temperatures. The limiting factor is actually the water on exhibit. Their water to drink, it freezes. When that happens, they have to go inside. But these guys are fine to like minus 10.
And our last question for you, zookeeper Sandy, since we're leading up to Thanksgiving and we're talking all about the things that we are grateful for here at the zoo, what are some things that you're grateful for working here at Stone Zoo?
Just grateful that the zoo is still here. As you know, it's been a struggle over the years. It's my favorite thing to take care of animals, so I'm grateful that I have that as a job to do and that our animals are healthy. These two cats are actually 13 years old, which is pretty much elderly for these cats. We're just lucky to still have them, and they're in good health.
Thank you so much, Sandy. Thank you for your time, and we'll keep chatting a little bit more about the snow leopards here. So like Sandy said, Kira and Himal are both 13 years old, and if you visited the zoo in 2018, you might have noticed we had two little additions in here. Kira and Himal did have cubs, Pandora and Nafisa. They are now 4 years old, and they are at different zoos. They've both been paired with males at other zoos. Pandora is at Idaho Falls Zoo, and Nafisa is at the San Diego Zoo. So they are Kira and Himal are a mated pair of snow leopards here. And it's really important, and something that I'm really grateful for is our conservation work with snow leopards and with Snow Leopard Trust. It's estimated that there are between just under 4,000 to 6,400 snow leopards left out in the wild. And they are really, really difficult to study. They are found in 12 countries throughout Central Asia, and they have the nickname Ghost of the Mountain for a reason. Their camouflage blends in incredibly well to their rocky habitats. They also can have really large home ranges. They are extremely elusive and difficult to study. So having conservation partnerships like we do with Snow Leopard Trust helps us study snow leopards here in zoos, and scientists can then apply what they learn from snow leopards in zoos into conservation work out in the wild. So we have had different cameras that the trust will use out in the wild installed on our exhibit to help with best practices for identifying wild snow leopards. So this conservation work is really, really critical. Less than 2% of their population has been sampled for the abundance of snow leopards. So it is possible that their population out in the wild is even smaller than we originally thought. And snow leopards do have several threats. Most are due to human encroachment and habitat loss. So Snow Leopard Trust does some really amazing things to help the communities and the snow leopards where they are found in those communities. So some of the things that they'll do is to offer insurance policies for the livestock. A lot of communities in the same areas that snow leopards are found will have livestock as a means of feeding their families and for their own livelihood. And as humans get closer and closer to wild animals in their habitats, that's a really good source of food for snow leopards. So Snow Leopard Trust will actually offer an insurance policy for people that would like to participate, where if any livestock are killed off due to a snow leopard, instead of retaliating against the snow leopards and trying to harm them, they will then be reimbursed for the cost of that animal. We also do sell some different handicrafts that are made by women in these communities from a lot of products that they can make from their livestock. So if you're interested in, as we approach the holidays, a really sustainable gift that supports an incredible conservation cause, definitely check out our gift shops for some of those products that are distributed to us from Snow Leopard Trust. So I want to piggyback off of Sandy and what Sandy said. I'm incredibly grateful to have such an amazing career here at the zoo and to get to see such amazing animals like Kira the snow leopard, for our staff that are incredibly dedicated for their care. As we're approaching the holidays, something that not a lot of people think about is we have staff here every single day, even if it's a holiday, even if it is an incredibly snowy day. We have staff here caring for our animals. They don't know that it's a snow day or a holiday, and they still need all of their needs met, including their daily diets, enrichment, and interaction with their keepers. And I'm also really grateful to everyone watching these videos that come and visit our zoos. Some of my favorite moments working at the zoo are getting to interact with zoo visitors and teaching them all about our animals. So do we have any questions that have come in? I don't see any quite yet. But a lot of times people are wondering if snow leopards are an endangered species, and they are listed as vulnerable, which means that their population is vulnerable and could become endangered. So as we study snow leopards more and more, we might notice that their conservation status could change. They could be listed as an endangered species once their population is better assessed, but that's why this conservation work is so critical, so we can get a adequate and accurate population estimate on them. So as we're watching Kira, watching Sandy and Tyra, some of our zookeepers here, we are going to say goodbye. If you'd like to see the snow leopards, we are open all winter long with the exception of Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day and occasional snow days. So pop by and see Kira and Himal, the snow leopards, in person. Thanks so much for joining us.